guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Wow, your bed is so neat. Hashtag goals. What? Oh, yeah, my bed is always this neat. I'll clean it tomorrow. I didn't make my bed just for the views. Anyways, today I wanted to show you guys, today I wanted to talk to you guys about my experience at a community college and my experience at a university. I've gone to both. I started off at a community college, did my freshman and sophomore year there, and then my junior year I transferred over to a university, and this fall I'm going to begin my senior year there, so stay tuned for graduation. Now, I really wanted to use this video to shed a little bit of light into community college education and experience, kind of, because I feel like a lot of times people have like this negative stereotype that community college isn't really good, that it's just for people that didn't do good in high school and it's a way for them to catch up, but it's not the case at all. So let's talk a little bit about the stereotypes that surround community college. I myself used to look down on community college, especially when I was in high school. I was an honor student. I was an honor graduate. My academic ego was like humongous. I wasn't bratty, but I just thought that community college was not going to be a good fit for me. I thought people were going to start looking down upon me if I went to community college, so I always had like my mindset into going to my dream university. And then something happened that I couldn't go to my dream university, and so I had to go to community college. And at first I was like, no. But then something happened when I started going to my classes at the community college I was going to. I realized that none of it was true. It was just a normal school, almost as if it were a university. There were students from all kinds of different backgrounds, and they were just going to community college for different circumstances. And I was like, girl, you were dumb. Like, how could you let people's thoughts about community college influence your opinion about community college if you've never even been there? I thought I was gonna hate my time at community college, but then I actually ended up having a really great time there, so really happy about that. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the differences between community college and a university. So at a community college, people usually go there and they can get an associate's degree, or some people opt to just go and do special certification that certain community colleges have through different programs. Basically, in an associate's degree, you'll have your core classes, which include your math, science, history, government, English classes, and a couple of other classes that are needed, like speech or communications class. And then you'll also have electives to choose from based on what degree you're going to be getting, whether it be an Associate of Arts or an Associate of Science. It just depends. And of course, different community colleges have special programs and degrees that cater to different areas of study. For example, music and education. Those were some big ones at my community college. As far as getting into community college, it's not as difficult as it is to get into a university. At a community college, typically you don't need high SAT scores or ACT scores. You really don't even need SAT scores or any kinds of tests like that to get into it. Once you're done with registration and turning in documents that show that you're ready for college level classes, you'll take a diagnostics test, which just determines what level you're at in certain subjects, for example math and English and writing. And it's just so that they can place you in the best class for you, because if maybe you're not doing great in math or you struggled with it a lot and you need a little bit more reinforcement in certain subjects or topics within math, you'll take that class that kind of build your skills back up. That way you can go ahead and enter into like a college algebra class and you won't be feeling behind. Like I mentioned before, at a community college there's people from all kinds of different backgrounds. You have the people that didn't do great in high school and are gonna be building back their GPA, that way they can maybe move on to a university. You'll find people that maybe dropped out of school and are coming back in to maybe better themselves. You'll find people that are just testing out the waters. Maybe they still don't know that if college is going to be their thing, and they want to see if it is going to be their thing. You'll also find people that did really great in high school, or that just maybe had to transfer in from a university because they couldn't keep affording the classes at a university. You'll find people from all kinds of backgrounds there. And I really liked that because I just didn't feel alone, you know? I felt like there was somebody there that I knew that was in the same circumstances that I was. And of course, something that we all kind of know is that community college classes are a lot cheaper than university classes. The cost of me taking 5 classes at my community college was about the same, or maybe even a little bit less than the cost of me taking 1 class at my university that I'm currently at, which is a big difference. If you don't have the money saved up, then it can be kind of hard to pay for a university tuition, whereas at a community college maybe you can take a couple of classes at a time just to make the cost of it a little easier for you. Okay, so at a university, people typically go and get their bachelor's degree, and then if they want to continue studying later on, they can go to graduate school and they'll get a master's or a doctorate degree. Classes at a university usually include your core classes, which I mentioned earlier, and they're usually taken during your freshman and sophomore year, which is why a lot of people opt to go to a community college and take them there instead and then transfer over. And then your junior and senior year, you typically start to focus more in on your advanced classes, which are just classes that tailor more towards your degree. So for example, for me, it was my linguistics classes that I started taking since I was already done at community college and I finished all my core classes and electives there. I didn't really have to take any at the university, and I've just been focusing solely on my major. At a university, you can also do minors, which are basically just like separate areas of study that you could take. You'll include a couple of advanced classes into your schedule from different subjects. So for me, I'm majoring in linguistics, so most of my classes are linguistics classes. But since I'm also minoring in Spanish and French, I do have a couple of advanced Spanish and advanced French classes. As far as getting into a university, it can be a little bit more tough and challenging than it is to get into a community college. Typically they'll ask for SAT scores or ACT scores or a combination of both, and you have to have a certain score to get in. You'll also have to do essays and recommendation letters. You have to turn in a lot of things to just get into the school. Some universities also like to include research components into their programs, not just for the graduate school, but for undergraduate students as well. Some classes will have a lot of research components integrated into it. So for example, study projects or research projects that professors might assign. Just universities really like to have that component added into them because it just makes the school a little bit more prestigious, I guess. And like I mentioned before, university tuition is a lot higher than at a community college, and it can vary as well between the students. So for example, if you live in the state where the university is at, you'll have a cheaper tuition than people who live out of state. And the cost of tuition also varies between whether your school is a public school or whether it's a private school. It just varies a lot, honestly. Now, as far as some pros and cons for community colleges and universities, at a community college, a pro, obviously it's the cost. If you don't have the money saved up or you don't get the financial aid to go into a university first, community college is a great option because you'll be taking the same classes your first 2 years at both schools. And it would just be a little bit cheaper to do it at a community college. Community college is also a really great way to test the waters if you're still not sure whether college is going to be your thing, or if you're still undecided as to what you're going to be studying. Community college is a great place to start off at. You can try some of the classes. If you don't like it, you can just go ahead and finish off the degree if you want. You'll end up getting an associate's degree, which is another pro. But if you decide you don't want to continue it at all, you won't have wasted thousands of dollars going to a university and dropping out versus going to a community college and dropping out. A con to community college, though, is that if you decide that college is your thing and you want to transfer over to a university, sometimes your credits might not transfer over Some of the classes that you take at a community college might not be the ones that are required for a university degree, so it can vary between the classes. For example, if you took college statistics and the university actually asked for college algebra and you didn't know, then you'll be transferring over to university and you'll have to take another math class that maybe you don't really want to take. Which is why a lot of times community colleges do recommend you go often to the transfer center or the transfer department that you might have at a community college, because they want to make sure that you're taking the right classes at the community college so that this doesn't happen when you transfer over to a university. You don't want to have to spend thousands of dollars taking a class that you could have very well taken at a community college. Some pros and cons at a university. A pro that I would consider has been probably my most exciting thing about going to university is just that the advanced classes are going to end up being more in the subject that you're interested in. I was really tired of taking core classes at my community college. I was just ready to jump into the subject that I was interested in, which was linguistics, and they didn't have advanced classes for linguistics there, so I had to wait until I transferred over to a university to be able to jump into the field that I'm interested in. It can vary though. Some subjects do have certain classes to start off with at a community college. For example, music majors can sometimes find really good music programs within the community college, and you can get to experience some of that your freshman and sophomore year of college. Same goes with education majors, journalism majors. There's a lot of different programs that can tailor towards your field at a community college. For me, it wasn't the case, so I had to wait till I got to a university to be able to start my linguistics classes. And obviously a con that can be difficult for some people to overcome at a university is obviously the cost. If you don't have money saved up, you might have to end up taking out loans. Especially if your financial aid doesn't cover it, or maybe you didn't get enough scholarships to cover the tuition cost. Another expense to add into the university tuition cost is obviously the cost of living at a university. A lot of times universities want for you to live on campus your freshman and sophomore year, which can add thousands more dollars into the cost of everything. So just wrapping up the video, I really wanted to emphasize some of the points that I made earlier about community college. I really think it's a great option, and if you're on the edge as to whether you're going to go to a community college or not, I really suggest you just take a look at what your circumstances are, what opportunities you have at a community college that is near you, because I think that some people kind of turn away from community college based on what they hear, and they think that they have to go straight into a university, and that's not always the case. You can find a lot of really great opportunities at a community college, just the same as you can find really great opportunities at the university that you plan on going to. Some say that maybe you don't get the same experience as you do at a university, and it honestly just varies between community colleges. Some community colleges do have a lot of activities that can help you feel more involved in your community. It all just comes down to what your preferences are as to what kind of school you want to go to, and I leave that decision up to you guys. I just really want to emphasize the fact that community college education and university education is equally as valuable. I wouldn't let other people's opinions influence my decision. I would just take a look at what my options are. I really want to encourage you guys to look into the programs that are around you, both at a community college and at a university, if you're struggling to decide between both of them. If you already have your mindset, don't let this video change your opinion. If you want to go with your gut, I totally recommend you going with that. I'm just mainly making this video for people that are undecided as to what school to pick. After I graduated high school, I remember being really stressed as to figuring out what I was going to do the following year. I wasn't sure whether I still had time to apply to a university, and it turns out I didn't, so I had to really make the quick choice of going to a community college so that I wouldn't miss out on a year. But it's all up to you guys. It's just important to see what programs are around you and what opportunities you guys have. So I think that's it for today's video. I really hope you guys were able to find something useful from it. I really just wanted to lay out some facts from my experience, and I really hope that you guys end up choosing the correct path for you guys. Hey guys, it's me. I realized my camera was not filming me saying goodbye and ending the video, so here it is. Thank you guys for the support, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!